Hi, I'm Misha and welcome to Fremont Debate Academy. Today we're going to be talking about tournaments and getting ready for the big day. So I found this cute picture online and it says, when your first debate tournament is tomorrow night and you're thinking to yourself, I don't need sleep, I need answers. Well, please make sure you get sleep. You need to be well rested to be able to take on the day and your debates. And hopefully, you don't need answers the night before your tournament because you would have already prepped your cases. So try not to procrastinate. And most importantly, I understand how stressful or it might make you feel really anxious not knowing what to expect in a tournament. So this presentation is meant to kind of help you understand what a tournament will be like, what to know, so hopefully you can be as prepared and less stressed and calm as you can be. And also, I wanted to tell you you're going to do great. So let's get started with the video. Tournament structure. You will be really busy at tournaments, competing in multiple rounds and attending an award ceremony at the end of the day. You usually have 4 rounds throughout the day. Some tournaments are one day, some tournaments are a few days long. It depends. Each round will take 50 to 60 minutes, sometimes longer, depending on how much feedback your judge wants to give you. And each round you will debate will have a different topic that you have pre-prepared. So you will never debate the same topic twice. You will also get breaks between the end of your round and the beginning of the prep time for your next round. And there are usually 2 rounds before lunch and then like a longer break and then 2 rounds after. So debate round structure, this is review. So I like to remember the order of speeches as poop, proposition, opposition, proposition, opposition, opposition, your opposition block, and proposition. The first 4 speeches are constructive speeches. The first 2 speakers from both teams each have 2 to 3 contentions and rebuttals of points brought up by the opposition team. And then the last 2 speeches are rebuttal speeches that impact the entire debate and your team's contentions, and summarize and refute the opponent's contentions. So if you want more information, we have a bunch of videos that will cover each speaker and impacting, so go check them out if you want more information. Prep time. Prep time is the most essential part of the debate round, of course, after the debate itself. A little bit about prep time. You are given the debate topics before the tournament, like I mentioned before. So you prep for both sides beforehand. And I love this about middle school debate because you go in prepared, right? You know what to expect as in your topics and what you should say. So hopefully that makes you a little less stressed. 20 minutes before your round begins, the topic for that round is announced, as well as which side you are debating on. Sometimes it's posted on a wall, and it'll be like prop and op on 2 sides, and then they'll have like your school and like your last name or the last 3 letters of the first 3 letters of your last name. It depends, and then sometimes they'll even post it online or do both, but they will definitely make it like accessible to you, and you'll know which side you're on. And then after the topic is announced, you have 20 minutes to write down your case on printed paper. So you can't bring like a pre-written case with you. They'll give you paper, it's usually colored, that you need to like transfer all your information onto. And then one team goes into the debate room and the other one stays outside. Sometimes that's different, like both will stay outside somewhere, but usually the tournament is pretty good about making sure that you're like separate from your opponent so that you don't have to worry about them like hearing what you're saying. And sometimes you're in the same room, but it's not like a super big deal. Some more tips of how to prep. So you want to split up the points and refutes between you and your partners. When I did middle school debate, we did it by we each wrote down our own speeches first, like what we needed. So the first speaker would write down her contentions. I was a second speaker. So I wrote down my contentions and then like the refutes. And then the third speaker, she would write down her summary, her impacts, and then refutes. And then whoever finished first would kind of we would help each other kind of finish everything up. Also, make sure to write down everything you will need for the round. Also, please, before you start writing, make sure you have the right case that you're copying. Once I accidentally wrote the wrong case, but don't worry, I caught it in time, and I was able to like write my actual case. But just be careful. And write using shorthand. Use bulleted points and arrows. Use shortened versions of word like econ instead of economy. Um, and don't copy down long sentences and paragraphs. It takes too much time. Grammar isn't important. Your notes are mainly there to help you speak. Hopefully you don't need to read off of your paper. These are all going to help you just write faster. And most importantly, write legibly, right? You want to be able to read what you've written. So yeah. And then more tips, the last ones I swear for this section. Do not bring any outside paper. I have said this before, but you will get disqualified if you bring outside paper. So make sure you only write on the paper the tournament gives you. Put your case in your backpack or leave it outside. Make sure to not on your table, like under other papers. You want to be really careful because you don't want to get disqualified, because it's technically cheating if you bring outside paper, but you get my point. Also, make sure you are on time to your room and ready to start. Sometimes finding the rooms can be more like work than you anticipated. Sometimes it's like confusing. So make sure you leave time to like get to your rooms. And then be respectful throughout prep time. Sometimes your judge will come in early, or they're there while you're prepping and you don't want to like scream at your teammates while you're prepping. Also, just try and be nice to your teammates. You're all under stress. Be a unit, be supportive, and be positive towards each other. Judges, the most important thing to remember is to always be courteous and respectful to your judges. You will have a new judge every single round. You should ask these questions to your judge prior to the debate. So you might want to ask, how do you feel about POIs and heckles? May I use my phone to time myself? Because if you know what they want, you can better cater to them, and so that might help you win the debate. And that's because judges decide the winner of the debate and give out speaker points to each person. Depending on the judge, sometimes they'll ask you to step out while they make their decision, or there'll be like a few minutes while they'll just take time to kind of formulate their thoughts and think about like who won or what to say, and then they'll give you feedback. Sometimes they tell you who wins, sometimes they don't. It depends on the tournament and the judge. And then speaking of judges, in debate, we like to say there's two types of judges, a lay judge and a flow judge. It's nice things to keep in mind. Of course, it's not black and white, but you want to keep in mind of like this concept in a debate. And what it means is a lay judge is a judge who isn't necessarily really writing down what you're saying, and they're paying more attention to your speaking. Like they're paying attention to, are you looking at them? Are you being persuasive? Are you like making them feel for your side? So for a lay judge, you want to focus on like impacting and speaking better and like not reading. And a flow judge is a judge who's like writing like everything down. They're like flowing, which is why we call them flow judge. And they're writing everything down. And you want to make sure then you have strong evidence. You're catching all the refutes. You're refuting everything, because they're going to write that down and they're going to take note of it. But of course, just because you have like one judge that sways one way, like they write more or they're like listening more than they're writing, doesn't mean that you should not do the other thing. Make sure you like speak well and give the proper information. Tournament etiquette. How to carry yourself at the tournament. You want what to wear? You want to wear business formal. Dress as if you are going to a job interview. So for males, this would be dress pants, dress shirts, ties, bow ties work, suit jackets too. And females, a business skirts or pants, like formal pants. No jeans for either. And then blouses or formal dresses work too, and blazers. If you have questions, you can like go onto the internet, or your parents are a great resource too. And look presentable. This means like clean, well-kept clothes, styled hair. You don't want to look like you just woke up and got out of bed. And nice shoes, right? So dress shoes for boys, flats or heels for girls. I always brought an extra pair of shoes. It's always nice to be able to like switch, but obviously it's up to you. Tournament etiquette. Be respectful to your judges, your teammates, and your opponents at all times. A tournament is a formal setting. There is no horsing around allowed, and I mean like don't start wrestling or fighting someone. Don't be loud, and disrupt other people. Like think of it almost like you're in school, but also it's like you're representing your school at that tournament, right? And you don't want to create a reputation or like make your school look bad because you didn't know how to be respectful in a public setting. Also, respect all your facilities and furniture and the campus because you are a guest, right? It's nice enough that the school is letting the tournament host it there, so just be nice. Also, I forgot to mention, your judges could be walking around when you're not in a debate round. Like, you don't know who your judge might be. So you want to be respectful because you don't want your judge to see you like doing something disrespectful because that can like cause them to be biased and not like you. And then lastly, clean up after yourselves. Again, you're a guest. You don't want to make a mess or leave trash behind. Tournament essentials. Everything we suggest you bring to help you be successful at a debate tournament. Of course, if you forget something or you don't have it, that's totally fine, but they can be useful. So first, an essential that you like have to bring is a case. Like your case, like your arguments, you can't forget your case. Either print it out or have it on your laptop or something, but make sure you bring it. You shouldn't count on your teammates to bring it for you. Next, we suggest a laptop and a charger. You're there for a whole day. Like sometimes they can go from like 6 or 7 in the morning to like 7, 6 o'clock, even later at night. So you're there for a long time, which is why we suggest you bring a charger and a laptop for if you need to research or if you have your case on there. Again, if you don't have one or you forget to bring it, it's totally fine. Also, your phone, you want to keep in contact with your parents. Make sure you tell them you're okay. Call your teammates if you have to. Again, charger because you're there a long time, and in case you run out of battery, you want to be able to charge it. Pens and pencils, bring several. This is also really important. Sometimes the tournament provides them, but it's nice to just have your own so you don't have to like run around looking for a pencil or a pen. Also, timer and watches. Some judges don't let you use your phones, so just in case, if you want to be prepared for everything, bring a timer and a watch. And then food and water, right? You're there for a whole day, so you want to make sure you're bringing things to keep yourself healthy and full and hydrated. There will also be food for purchase at the tournament, but sometimes it's nice to be able to just snack whenever you want or not have to worry about like go finding food and buying it. But it's up to you, of course. Like if you don't want to bring them, that's totally okay. We just made a list of what we think might be helpful. Final tournament tips. Don't stress. Take a deep breath before you enter your debate round and walk in calm and collected. Give yourself a pep talk. I tell myself before debate, I used to tell myself the night before, the morning before, right before my round, you're a team, like hype each other up too. Like I remember when I was in middle school debate, we used to have a signature dance that we would do right before a debate round. So, kind of just be positive and help keep each other's spirits up. To like don't stress and to be confident. Confidence is key. Also, have fun. Debate tournaments are supposed to be fun and engaging places to exercise your debating skills, but also to meet new people, right? You're meeting different people from different schools. It's a great place to make new friends. And lastly, be prepared. Make sure you don't forget anything essential and have all your materials with you. It also helps decrease stress. So, thank you so much for watching our video. Like and subscribe for more content.